most of you know Tara. Tara is a kind, warm, sometimes gentle person who just loves to learn. She just truly is always excited about learning something else that'll help her growth and others around her in her personal journey. Tara's a student of the expansive cosmos in her school. Tara has been connected to the spirit world since she was young. Tara is a gifted, intuitive medium aligned with cosmic intelligence. She provides messages from the spirit world and will guide and assist you with navigating the human condition so that you connect to your inner divinity with grace. She is an incurable animal and nature lover, writer and kayaker. Tara is on a quest to share the things that light her heart up with the world, and to help starseeds feel at ease in their bodies and at home on this planet through yogic energy medicine, Ayurveda, meditation, and metaphysics. Tara has hosted community Reiki shares, Soulful Sundays, message circles, and healing events. She enjoys working with nature through inspiration, ritual, and devotion. She has many hours of training through Yoga Farm for 200, 300 teacher training program, continuing education workshop. She has completed certifications in Kundalini Yoga, Vinyasa Yoga, Ayurveda, Enneagram, lunar archetypes, and meditation. She is also a certified rebirthing facilitator, Yoga Nidra guide, and Usui master teacher. Thank you. Please welcome Tara.
Hello, I'm so excited to be here. I wasn't really nervous until I started feeling my grandfather, and that's a totally different story. So I just want to take in all your beautiful faces. Love it, love it. So my intention today is for you to be empowered in your own healing. Heal thyself. I love that we can do hands-on healing and things, and there's times when that might not be available. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I also want to just take a moment, if you'll allow me, for us all to just give gratitude for those who have loved us into being, those who have helped us be who we are in this moment right now, and who might help us tomorrow even, and those who are no longer with us in the human form. They're here in spirit. So Shanti is the word for peace. My grandfather was a very devoted, religious pastor, and when he would preach, he would amen, amen, you know, and I get that. So because that's not my thing, he has asked that if you get moved by something, you say Shanti, peace, peace, peace. So you are welcome to do that if you are moved. And yeah, I'll be joining you. So healing, what does healing mean? A lot of times people will say, oh, you need to heal this and you need to heal that. We have no freaking idea what that means. We're like, what do you want me to do? Like, you're not giving me any tools. How am I supposed to heal? I know that there's something going on, and I just don't know how. I don't know where to start, so maybe I just don't. Or maybe you start Googling things and you come up with different things like Reiki and crystals and whatnot, and you start that path. So I'm going to offer some tools, practical tools today as well for healing, if you're not sure. The other thing with healing that's really funny that comes up is, it's funny, not funny, about losing people. So that can be also a deterrent from doing any kind of healing work, because everyone says, oh, if you once you start on a spiritual journey, you're going to lose all your friends. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to lose all their friends. And the relationships might just shift and change. So maybe it's a perspective that we need to just kind of shift and change in our mind when we hear that, because sometimes we get to take those people with us. We get to uplift them with us. We don't just leave them behind. And sometimes we don't resonate anymore, and we do. And those are times where we go through the grief and the sorrow of letting friendships go and relationships go. But it's not always the case. If you can put it in your mind that maybe somebody might be curious about what it is that you're doing and want to know more, and take that journey alongside with you. So, different perspective, just kind of offering it out there. And there's a lot of talk about awakening, and what that means. We're all evolving and moving on to some higher plane, 5D, whatever. And it's not about bypassing. It's not about not doing the work or suppressing parts of you that you might feel or believe to be unsavory. It's about energy expansion, expanding the energy so that way you can be in the world and not of the chaos. So that way you can go through things in life that might feel like a hurdle, might feel like a roadblock, and be able to move past it and flow like a river. And though rivers sometimes get dammed, what happens? Eventually they flow over, right? Nothing ever stays in its one spot for very long. Everything is always changing. Awakened versus asleep. Johanna read that beautiful poem for us. This is a constant effort. When we are doing our healing journey, when we've embarked on these things, it's a constant effort. We can't just say, oh, I'm awakened and I'm this and I'm that. Well, are you? Or did it happen and now you're falling back into the earthly things where you can get distracted from your path, distracted from what is true, the truth with capital T. Finding those things where you might be, out of alignment. For me, when I'm out of alignment with something, I literally get some shade. I'm not even kidding. Things get dark. And I'm like, whoa, I'm out of alignment for a moment. I need to recalibrate, readjust, course correct. So there might be some tells for you as well when you're out of alignment. What happens? What are the things that happen to you that you sense that are different from when you are in alignment? Those are things that we can step into and start, collecting the data. I collect a lot of data. And what is your calling? What's calling to you? Are you feeling the nudge to work on something? Are you feeling the call to do something and you're just not sure how to do it? We're gonna give you some tools how. Are you listening? Because sometimes we're awakened, but we're not really listening to the guidance that we have within us. We're not really following and pursuing the things that we're being guided to do. And there's only a U-shaped space in this planet that only you have the potential to fill. We can all be mediums, we can all be healers, we can all be blah-de-blahs, but only you have your own unique things that you came here to do, that only you can do perfectly, that we can't do. Just you. Shanti. So the voice of the soul, that inner calling, that gentle voice that sounds so soothing that people might think that you're crazy because you're hearing voices in your head. I know I sure as hell thought that I was crazy when I was hearing this voice. I'm like, I'm talking to myself and I'm really kind and gentle and it's not really me at the moment and I'm not really sure what's going on. Maybe I'm crazy. No, it's your higher self being like, hey, wake up. Let's get on with this. No more of this nonsense. We have things to do, people to help, healing to be done. So that voice might be asking you to do something like change. Change is hard for us. We're humans. We don't like change. Even if we say we like change. I'm like, yes, I love change. I love doing things differently. But I'm still going to resist while I'm going through it. We all do this. It's human nature. So what is it that you're being called? What is your heart really calling and asking you to do? Not your friends, not your partners, not your families. Your heart, your soul. That's for you. That's your medicine. That's your medicine beyond anything else. Nobody is more wise than you are for yourself when you're tapped in and listening to your higher self.
Amen.
There you go. So that brings me to some wounds, the little pokey things, the things that poke us, that are uncomfortable, like feelings and emotions. For the longest time, I was told that being angry was bad. Bad. Don't be angry. Always be happy. Love and light. That's all you can do. Oh my word, was I like a ticking time bomb when all that kind of just started to unravel itself. And I realized that love and light and fluffy bunnies is just not the way to be. You have to have balance. We do not have, a daytime without night. It's an equal balance of shifting. And then there's the dawns in between, that gray zone. That's where we really need to hang out more, in that gray. So who am I if I'm not my wounds? Who are you if you're not your wounds? We identify with these things all the time. All the time. It becomes our identity. And sometimes it's hard to let go of them because maybe we're not sure how. That could be very much it. Maybe we have some resentment that goes with it. We want others to pay for things they've done to us. Maybe there's something totally different. So I invite you to be with that. Who are you if you're not your wounds? Can you release that? What's your capital T? Your soul. You are a being in a suit, a human suit that moves through the day. And we have all of these things going on. And we're able to move and shift them if we choose. So this brings me to a little witchy point. Freezing. I was taught that we freeze like people. We freeze people if they're causing harm. And I was also taught recently that we can freeze things like judgments, criticism, scarcity. Many of us have that. And self-abandonment. We all seem to do that. This is a culture of self-abandonment. That everything is external and anything internal is considered woo-woo. So think about things that you might want to go get a special little ice cube tray and what you might want to put in there. What is something that's just so self-defeating for you that you've just had it, you are done? Write it down on a piece of paper. Scribble it out. My paper just rips. It rips into shreds. Fold it up, stick it in that little ice cube tray, put some ice, water in there, freeze it, and let it be. I guarantee you, within a few days, that thing won't even be on the top of your mind. It'll be in the back maybe, but it won't be in the forefront. It won't be the thing that's driving you every single day. And it gives opportunity for something else to come in. It makes room, makes space for something useful, maybe. So, freezing those things. Very easy, very practical, and you don't need to do too much work. The other thing about healing, which is interesting, is the whole spiral effect, right? So we're doing some healing, and then we're like, didn't I already work on this? Why is it back? Why is it here again? I thought I did this. I thought I worked on this. Boom, there it is. So Spirit loves to give us these things where we just keep getting tested, and we keep getting tested, and we keep getting tested on this little vortex of life. And what I've learned is that the lighter we are energetically, the more aligned we become with our soul and our inner wisdom. And I found that by doing Kundalini yoga and moving energy in this way, I don't have to re-traumatize myself through shadow work, where we go and we start looking at things and doing all this other kind of like mental body thing. When I just move the heaviness in my body, I naturally feel lighter, and those things don't run my show anymore. They are not the leaders of my day. I get a different choice. So that brings us to emotions. Emotions are energy in motion. And they are deserving of our attention. Anything that we might bypass, anything that we might suppress, I really invite you to kind of bring those things up in a safe space that you can create for yourself as well. And working with language. So when we own things like, I am anxious, I'm likely going to feel anxious more often than not. We can also say, I am experiencing anxiousness, and energy gets to move. I'm not owning the anxiousness. We can also say, I am an infinite soul experiencing the human emotion of anxiousness, and that puts me right into presence of who and what I truly am. Has nothing to do with anxiousness and everything to do with being out of alignment. So my teacher, Daniela, she's affiliated with Yoga Farm Ithaca and has her own business now called Inspired Living. She sent this thing that came into my inbox, and I asked her if I could share it because it was very perfect for this talk today. And she said yes. And it's the 10 secrets your higher self really wants you to know. So number 1, the quality of your 80,000 thoughts per day determine the quality of your experiences of your life. The primary function of your life and your relations is not to make you happy, it's to grow and evolve you. If you don't learn how to be with and express the full range of your emotions, you will turn to depleting habits and addictions and to change the way you feel. You can't figure out your purpose, simply follow your passion. Inspiration and enthusiasm will lead you right to it. Where you are secretly focusing your attention is what you worship. Consequently, what you will attract. What are your thoughts? What are you thinking? That's what you attract. We hear it all the time, but we don't really ground it, I think. You can never make a wrong choice or fail. Should is one of the most dangerous words on earth. This has been ingrained in my brain since I found Yoga Farm. It was one of the things that they were like, get this out of your head, because all it does is you just put shame all over everything. No more shoulds. If you have unlimited access to trustworthy inner guidance 24/7. Daily contemplation on death will transform the way you treat yourself and others. And I'm just going to throw in there that if that is a worry, let's say, for anyone, I invite you to really deepen into this new season that we're moving into. We're transitioning into autumn, because this season will really help illuminate death and rebirth for you. Your life is your spiritual practice, not your spiritual practice.
That was good. Amen. Shanti.
Shanti.
And bonus number 11, your complaints, when worked with skillfully, are your pathways to freedom. What are your complaints? Are they really complaints? So, this brings us to the energy medicine. So, I just want to give you 3 very simple, accessible, anytime meditations that you can do just to move some energy. So like when I'm at work and I've had a customer that I go and do a thing to bring my energy back. So I'm just going to teach you 3 things. Well, Craig's going to teach you 1 thing. I'm going to teach you 2 things. So, first of all, I want you all to know that every single one of you is enough. You are all doing enough. You are all worthy enough. You are enough. So any stories about that, change the narrative. You are enough. I am enough. I am worthy. So, we're going to learn Breath of Fire. Some of y'all know it. And it's pretty transformative. And I want you to have your own embodied experience. So when we have our own embodied experience, it becomes our own unique pathway to healing anytime. It's an access point always. So Breath of Fire, I'm just going to grab some water real quick. breath of fire is, it's subtle. And I'm just gonna let you be with that. Because I could go on and on. So just a few adaptations. If you are a woman on your moon cycle, I would like you to stay in long, deep breathing, because from the Kundalini Tantric perspective, you are already radiant and glowing, and you do not need to increase your energy for your aura to be shining. And that's it. So the breath of fire, we're gonna start panting like a puppy, because we want to pump the navel, and most of us breathe from our chest. So we want the oxygen, the air, to actually come down to our belly. So take a deep breath in and like stick your belly out. Like really push it out like a Buddha belly. Move all that air right down in there. It's hard, I know. It's weird at first because we're so used to breathing up so high that we start to get a little like woozy and lightheaded as we get full in prana and oxygen and life force energy. So taking deep breaths through your nose, bring it all the way down so that belly pops right out, and then exhale it out. Belly comes big every time with that inhale. All right. Now we're gonna pant like a puppy. I'm gonna show you my belly. I'm gonna really exaggerate it. Come over here. You stand up so they can see your belly. On that side. Close the mouth and in and out through the nose. Keep with the belly. So on your inhale, your belly comes out. On the exhale, you're pulling it in. It's a weird little rhythm to get used to. And you might feel a little lightheaded, which is normal. Totally normal. You can close the eyes. I'll leave my eyes open so everyone's safe. And just keep with that breath for a minute. Notice how your energy is shifting and changing with that breath. Take a deep breath in, hold the breath. Hold it, hold it, hold it, feel it. Exhale it out. Beautiful. We're gonna do that one more time, but we're gonna come into Gyan Mudra. This is called Wisdom Mudra. We wanna have access to our wisdom. Palms up on the lap. You can close your eyes or soften your gaze, look down at your lap. Take a deep breath in. Exhale it out. On your next breath, begin the breath of fire. Stay with it, a couple more. Take a deep breath in and hold it. Hold the breath. Squeeze the body really tight. Make your body really, 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 really tight. On the exhale, just sigh it all out. Shake everything out you want to shake. Let the body just move how it wants to. Beautiful. Craig is going to teach us the swimming dragon.
Get cooler in here with that?
It did.
Mm-hmm. So, Eric asked me to teach the swimming dragon. So it's another form of just moving energy. It might look a little weird doing it on public, but that's all right, people. You know. So basically, we're gonna put our hands together.
Everyone's gonna stand up.
Yes. If you're able, you don't have
Yeah,
to.
you don't have to.
You don't have to.
You can do it sitting.
And we're gonna have our hands in front of us. Basically, you're gonna try to draw the infinity symbol. So you're gonna kind of come down, and you want to push the one hand with your other hand. So just kind of make sure you're pushing. And then you can get your whole body into it if you want. You can raise it up a little bit if you want. And again, keep pushing those hands. You can come down lower if you want. So there's not a really set way. And then I kind of like to come up, and I can go to my toes and then just pull the energy down. And then kind of start again. And you can do it in the morning, if you wake up, just to get your energy moving. Like I said, you could just do your hands, you can get your whole body. So picture like you'd see a dragon swim. And Maybe you don't believe dragons swim, but they do. So just picture that and just move whatever works for you. Rock with it. You can go slow and fast. You can go hard with it. And again, just kind of make sure you're pushing that. And your affinity doesn't have to be perfect. And again, find what works with you. It's just a great way to move energy, let things go. Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, so like this is something, if you're at work and you just need a moment, you can go into the bathroom and just do this. I'm telling you all my tells, but these are things that have helped me survive being a human out in the world that is not always kind. So it's these little things that help us move and shift when we get that shade. Very simple. Go ahead and sit down. I hope you are all liking this. So now something very balancing. Alternate nostril breathing, which some of you might know because it's pretty out there for people to just learn. So alternate nostril breathing is a very grounding and balancing breath work for both sides of the brain. So again, if you have, let's say, racing thoughts or something that's just like nagging at you that you just can't get it to quiet down, and you're like, I need some peace, you can drop into this alternate nostril breathing as well. Breath of fire will actually like change all that if you do it for a minute or more. You can do it for however many minutes you want. And sometimes it's not accessible, so we can do this alternate nostril breathing. So what I want you to do is just take your pointer finger, whatever finger, and you're gonna go up to one of your nostrils, and now feel where the bone and the squishy part is. That's where you wanna press. And then go ahead and soften your gaze or close your eyes, and just breathe through the open nostril, in and out a couple times. And on your next exhale, go ahead and release it. We're going to switch sides. And then go ahead and find that little point where it's like bone and go ahead and release and just be there for a moment. Just be in that space. And with that breath, you could do the same with the breath of fire. You could close one and do breath of fire, close the other, do breath of fire for 30 seconds to a minute, however you like. Just have some tissues with you because that one can get a little mucousy. So for me, this has become the way that I process my wounds and my emotions at the most basic level. And it's something that you can do too. Whenever you might need something that is just a little different. Kind of gets us out of the mental body. That's the purpose of these meditations and of the practices, is to get out of the mental body and into the energy body, because once we're in the energy body, then things really start to shift and move, and we don't have to re-traumatize ourselves through the healing journey. So I just want to talk a little bit about excuse me, our natural gifts. So think beyond, I am a healer, I am a medium. Think beyond that, whatever little avatar that you identify with. What is it that comes to you so naturally that you don't even think about it? Other people will be like, oh, you do this thing, it's really great, you're perfect at it. What is that thing? What is it that's just naturally that you excel at? Some of us are excellent at organizing or sharing wisdom or discernment or just being practical, whatever that might be. This is the antidote to the terrible things in the world right now. We get to step into creativity with the things that are natural to us, that just come to us without really thinking about it. And with these natural gifts, we get to be inspired in some way to share them out with the world. And, you know, the more that we lean into the things that are easy for us, instead of being like a salmon, you know, going upriver in resistance, you know, salmon has to do that. We don't have to. We're not meant to suffer. We're not meant to struggle. We don't have to swim upstream. We can go with the flow. We can swim with the current. So those things that allow us easy access to healing, we want to lean into that. We want to tame the ego. We want to keep the ego. Ego is good, right? Just as long as it's not in the driver's seat. We wouldn't give our keys to a 3-year-old. So we don't want to give our keys to the ego. However, we do want to be able to swim with the current. So remember, again, your unique purpose, only you can fill it. It's got a U-shaped hole in this world that only you can fill. So I invite you to be with the exploration of what is your gift? What did you come here with that's just natural? Something that you might not even know what it is. And if you're not sure, take a poll, ask your friends, ask your family. Give me 3 things that you would say that I am. And I bet that they'll come back a little similar. And just a little note on this season, as I brought that in earlier. You know, the changing of the seasons, we're moving into to autumn, where alchemy is at its highest. And I mentioned the freezing of things. We can also plant things. We can plant seeds. And though we are not meant to bloom and flourish all year round, just like, you know, flowers don't, so we don't either. There's a time for planting and letting it just kind of be there and doing its thing in that fertile soil. And then there's a time that we get to plant some more and they're just going to start to blossom and grow. So we've been planting some seeds today of, you know, little wisdoms, maybe some wishes that may come to you. So let's, you know, continue to sprinkle that on this soil that we're cultivating, that we're creating, that you can be so creative with. It's your own inner garden. What is it that you want to manifest? What is it that you want to bring into this world and birth into this world that will help you on your journey and maybe help the community around you? And then you get to take note, you know, see what's budded and blossomed for you and what maybe, you know, won't come out and bloom until spring. But there are things that bloom in the fall. There are things that bloom in the winter. So keep that in mind. It's not a lot, but there are some things. So I just want to do a little law of attraction before I stop talking. I just want to do a little law of attraction. This is a mantra that I've repeated for almost 90 days doing our clearing practice. And I'm going to say that I read something not yesterday, a couple days ago, that I really just didn't resonate with. It was, what did I say? Trust and patience. Trust and patience? I think it was trust and patience are always a struggle. And I was like, oh, hell no. I will not. I am not here to struggle. I won't accept that. I just won't. And it's because of this, I've been repeating it for, like I said, almost 90 days with feeling. So I just want you to cup your hands right at your heart center and repeat after me. The more I open,
the more I open,
the more I attract to me.
the more I attract to me.
Now take your palms, fingertips, touch. Perfect. There is no need for me to struggle.
There is no need for me to struggle.
Cup those hands again. I attract opportunities, abundance, and joy.
I attract opportunities, abundance, and joy.
The more I open,
The more I open,
the more I attract to me.
the more I attract to me.
There is no need for me to struggle.
There's no need for me to struggle.
There is no need for me to struggle.
There is no need for me to struggle.
I attract opportunities, abundance, and joy.
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 One more time. I attract
I attract
opportunities, abundance,
and
and joy.
joy.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Let's bring those hands to heart center. Go ahead and soften your gaze or close your eyes. May I love myself just as I am. You can repeat it silently in your head. May I sense my worthiness. May I hold myself in compassion. May I meet the suffering of others with compassion. And I invite you to bring to mind someone or something that is just so easy to love. So easy. No effort. Be in that moment, that feeling. May you love yourself just as you are. May you sense your worthiness. May you hold yourself in compassion. And may you meet the suffering of others with compassion. May all beings be liberated from imposed limitations and be free from suffering. And take a deep breath in. Exhale it all out. And you can release the hands. So now we're just going to move into the healing part. So if you would like a hands-on healing, Craig and Johanna are going to be the healers, and they're going to